Well, there it is, friends. Anyone who wanted a little bit more Valorant for the night, if you were wishing on that lucky star, well, you get one more map, fans. You get one more map. That's going to be a core win. Congratulations. You won the prize. I have to say, though, I was excited for the potential of the teams coming out of Breeze. I don't know if I can say the same after Lotus. I think this is a lot more on par with what I kind of expected for the day. Teams kind of shaking off a little bit of that rust, trying to get into the groove. And Vans, I think that we got to see that a little bit more here on display here at Lotus.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it was much more polished in the end of how these two teams played against each other on Lotus, and I love the fights that we have back and forth. But when it comes down to trying to work what they currently have for QOR on the attack, definitely look more prepared to play against this more methodical composition that is also pretty much meta at this point here that TWT has pulled out. So they knew ways of how to counteract it. They pivoted around the map very, very well, and that's why we saw the results of 60 rounds on the attack they've gone on their side.
And Zeldris had a prayer at one of the timeouts, one of the many ones we got, and it worked out.
What did he need, though?
Stomped through.
Why did they need the prayer? Because they had so many rounds won in a row anyways. They were owning on attack.
Yeah, I can't remember what timeout he started praying, but yeah, that second half was all core. Really insane.
Even the self-satchel, oh man. Just shake it off, you know? You just gotta reset after that one. The prayers worked. We got a map 3 here. But hey, we did get to see a couple of great things coming out. We got to see some step up kills. We got to see some of the fragging potential that QOR has here that we didn't necessarily get to see as much of here in that first map there, Lemon.
Yeah, QOR, I think, got to a point where they just could not be stopped. I actually thought this was going a 2-0 direction the way the first half started. I think it was, 5-2? Like, TWT kind of brought that map 1 Breeze momentum, and I'm like, man, are QOR gonna figure it out? And as soon as that first QOR timeout happened, that's when they started taking rounds. And then, QOR didn't win the second pistol, but it didn't matter because they took the bonus in every round after that.
Yeah, if anything, towards the end, when you're looking at this scoreboard, and that's what's not being shown too, is the amount of first kills for all 10 players in the server was pretty spread across the board. So when it came down to teams trying to fight for extremity control on both ends on the defense, you saw those trades, those trap plays that really worked out in their favor, at least for TWT to start things off. But then after that, when you start understanding these fade, paranoia, trap plays that you're trying to do, then it seems as QOR really figured it out and really worked their attack in their favor.
I mean, when you're looking at QOR, they definitely have more reps together. They played through the qualifiers together. They unfortunately fell a little short the first time around, got to go again for the second open qualifier. So get to see a little bit more of that reps coming under their, kind of showing up here big for them once we get into those situations. But now I have to see just how things will be shaking up. I do like that we got to see, as I said, players step up. We didn't necessarily see the most from the duelist this time around, but we got to see Nerve and we got to see Ziff, and hey, they were putting up all the numbers that were kind of needed on the side of QOR Gaming here, Vans. This was definitely looking good.
Yeah, and it came down to pulse plant util that we're currently using too in the situations that you had on the attack from both Nerf and Ziff. It looked pretty good in the end. I mean, oh my God, they're phantom players. It's almost like listening to
that player,
or like plat chats. The streets are talking, and we know now who's who and who's playing well. But no, definitely, jokes aside, despite them, winning this one for QOR Gaming, they definitely stepped up and really helped the team in terms of working out that map. Beautiful paranoias coming out from Nerve to allow really QOR to get some good map control in these post-plant situations. So, I mean, it speaks for itself at this point. And if this continues on now for the third map on Vine, I'd be kind of scared now, being Together We're Terrific. QOR has a beautiful coaching staff behind, and they could really figure out the game plan as well of what Shinobi's currently cooking with Together We're Terrific. So we'll have to see when Vine comes through.
Yeah, and just looking at Nerve's stats, he's the guy that would kind of make or break the round, as sometimes would solo hold on the Viper and would have to play his life if he would play in the pit. Yes, he might have a higher amount of deaths, but really the amount of deaths and being able to output as much positive stats tells me he's going for the plays and he's going for something to put his team on a leg up. And that really helped Core to go for more risks. Yes, it didn't always pay off, but you saw how that translated to Nerve having such a huge impact that last map.
Looking ahead now to Bind in the series, I definitely am curious with what we're going to see coming out from the teams here, because as it stands in the series, both teams dropped their map pick to the other team, and we've gotten to see some highlights and lowlights coming out from both of these teams. And I feel like too, if it's going to be whatever team can make sure they have it together going into this next game, and even just with the recency bias of, hey, Core just won that map, they just had 2 people frag out near the end of their bans, things kind of just look better in their favor, despite that veterancy that over on the opposing end that TWT do have. They have these players that have this experience. They have the players that could bounce back, but just will they?
I'm definitely looking forward to see what type of competition we're going to have coming out of TWT, because again, we don't have any record of what really they were playing in the past. And when it comes down to how Mummy was currently playing on that first map of Breeze as a Cypher, I would not be surprised if we see a Cypher again on Bind. On the other end, though, for Core, they played a Chamber, if I'm not mistaken, in the last 2 games when they went through, and everything else is pretty much standardized when it comes down to the rest of the agent composition. Double controller, and I think 1 duelist going on with that, with maybe a Sky. So it's a little bit old school of how you kind of played. I think Loud was the one that initiated this composition going through on Bind with this Chamber, but maybe Snarly could get some positive aspect out of this Chamber in the comp.
I know you're looking for the Chamber. I know you're looking for the Chamber. We'll have to see if we get the Chamber, though, because our agent select is ready. We have map 3 on the horizon. We'll have to see who can come out top in this series.
It all comes... You're waving goodbye like we're going.
Yeah,
we're going to the decider.
Bye, Mom. Bye, Sierra. I'm going into the game to cast now. Bye.
Bye-bye. And we'll see how excited we are, because Bind, yes, was very successful for Core in the qualifier, but against teams that they should be beating, like Resonate, Mad Science, Thinking Men. They had a pretty worrying result against VCT Esports, who was also in Challengers, losing that 4-13, which... yes, was their first play on that, and they've since shifted towards the double duelist, as you've mentioned, and we'll see if that success will follow.
Well, this time we have a brand new composition coming out from both of these teams, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out. I love that we have the Gecko on both sides, but for Core Gaming, with this composition in itself, they have great ways to stall here on the defense if Together We're Terrific are too slow to work towards this A side, because you got Pain Shells, pretty much quad mollies from the Brimstone, the Viper, and the Gecko to stall that side. And once they take the attack, I feel that there's going to be a bombardment of utilities off the orbital strike to hit towards B as well, because that, with all that utility, it covers so much of that space towards that B site that Together We Are Terrific have to anticipate and maybe fight against that when they see an orbital strike off and ready here for Nerve on the attack. But that will have to be 12 rounds later. TWT are the ones starting off on the attack first, and with their composition going back into the Astra with Pancakes, double controller on their side, they've had some good results out of it when we saw it on Breeze, right? This is almost like the Breeze controller side that they have, and Pancakes definitely knows where to place the stars, and so far it's potentially to work and help TWT on an A site lead.
With the double controller, that's where I'm excited to see someone like Ziff on the Reyna. You could leer past that. But Ziff has barely any time recorded on Reyna, at least in the last couple of months. So this is a new look for Ziff.
Dizzy's up. Dizzy's down.
But we'll see how they coordinate off of the leer, off of the Gecko flashes. And now it's the entry from TWT onto the 8th site, making a lot of noise and keeping Pancakes looking over at B, ready to teleport at a moment's notice. Core definitely gonna respect that. No kills coming in, gonna try for the plant, see who emerges, and it's Zeltrus and Snarly pinning TWT against the wall. But can Pecky keeps the round alive for TWT, have that teleport, as this is the longest flank ever from Pancakes, and the spike has been taken and teleported over to B, where that plant will go off.
Oh, nice push towards the spawn, though. This should be a freebie for T-Dog to get towards the market. There you go. And now it's a 3-on-3 to ensue. They still have, 3-on-2, as they still have Ghost to work with, though, for TWT. They could work their range in their favor.
Right, got paint shells, if you will. At least you know where they're coming from. They're stomping away. Pancakes steadies his shot. 1v2 for Will. And they don't know where he is. He just has to play his life.
Insane.
And the headshot's not too bad. You're the tap on the spike. That's 2 for Will and the round for TWT.
That should not have happened. Why am I talking like a robot? QOR had such good utility to delay that plant on that A side. We talked about the cycle that they had. They even placed a Viper orb at the A side to deny the plant with a combination of the molly, and they still had more utility to stop the plant and delay it. And somehow we were still able to pick up the spike and TP across when you had a 4-player stack for QOR on the A side, and you let that slip. And because of that, you have 4 positions here from TWT, and Will just has a beautiful Zipple clutch to win the round now for the attack side.
Yep, time to light up the second round as TWT setting themselves up at A main. Little splashy footsteps making some noise there as Neptune and friends step in to the A site. And playing conservatively there on the defense is Nerve and T-Dog waiting for reinforcements coming through B, not making any sudden moves, not making too much noise, but waiting for the leer from Ziff.
This is going to be very difficult for QOR. I mean, they got Sheriffs to work with. We've seen what they can do with this on Breeze. Can they do it on Blind?
Yes. Gecko flash out. Lear used. TWT pushed outside of the site. And, well, Neptune's in the smoke, just doing his best, I guess. And this is where clutch moments, quick reactions are going to be important. 3 versus, or 2 versus 2. And the Sheriffs are popping off from this defensive side. Spike about to blow up, and it's a clutch for TWT.
But with 4 players dying on top of that, almost the 5th there, Pancakes manages to escape on time. But oh my god, the Sheriffs did definitely give hope for QOR for the retake. Beautiful shots coming out by Ziff, who, by the way, has now switched over to a duelist role, playing double duelist as a Reyna with a Raze in their composition, almost doing like a PRX something style where they could actually try to get information off picks and dismisses. But that was a valiant effort for QOR. Classics even rang through to get some damage done, and you have such an even gun round in round number 3.
Wow. No util, just vibes, just stomping through showers. Free orb for them, I guess. TWT setting up as usual, A main, but now exploring Hookah with Boombot. Nobody's in that corner. A little jiggle peek, seeing what's up. And QOR set up around the teleporter just to leave if things were to go down at A. Now TWT starting to make more noise towards B short, and Haunt being set up to see who is around B long. So some information by TWT, but no trigger pulled yet.
And this was broken by Snarly, though, so I'm not too sure if they'll expect a player moving up towards the teleporter, and T-Dog's about to walk down. Oh, might get a timing against Kempeki, and hides away from it. And because it's Kempeki, though, this Prowler could still be using it, sees him, the lurk up towards U-Haul, and that's the first pick.
That breaks open the A site, and now TWT thinking about how they could get there safely. They're just going to cross through mid, and QOR's reinforcements are on the way. Can Pancakes and Mummy, stay alive? Flank from the Reyna. Good timing from Ziff, and the invulnerability goes around the corner, has the leer in case there was a follow-up. Empress activated. This is Ziff's world, and you're just living in it. TWT feel pressured. They're stuck on the site. They're getting surrounded, but they just have to play for time. The spike has been planted, and it's QOR's hand that's being forced. And Mame catching Nerve in heaven is big, as Mame expects to swing out of the smoke. Snarly wins that. The spike has been tapped. Pancakes at 5 HP. Can't clutch the round, and QOR will defuse.
The fact that Neptune throwing the wingman to go plant and anticipated a push out of Ziff at Palm Tree was insane. unfortunately couldn't get that kill, which then allowed Ziff and the rest of Core to battle it out and win that retake in the end. But there was some heroic plays in the back over here, and this position by Mame, for him to get 2 right there was huge to give a chance for TWT to win that round. But the macro was perfect from both of these teams, and it came down to who shot better, and it was Core at that point, which then puts TWT in such a worse for wear bye because of that second round that we saw from Core with those sheriffs. So they had got.
Well, we got a judge.
Yeah. But that's on defense, so it's whatever. It's whatever. It's kind of default that we see here on defense. But for TWT, they don't have really anything to work with except for Will's Guardian, and they'll try to use that to get an entry towards the B site.
Oh, I think Mame is about to go test out that judge up close and personal, and Will gets flashed by the Gecko, and with the suppressing fire from Pancakes, manages to escape through B long, and well, as Hookah was being checked out, Neptune finds the bad end of a bullet, so TWT don't have the advantage anymore, and Zeldris just pokes out of smoke and catches Mame, and TWT are only taking L's right now. Everything they try gets kicked in the face.
Doesn't even matter about the judge. He just swings with a classic to get the kill, but second time here.
Flawless.
Yeah, there's the judge kills. I hate that gun. And he also has a showstopper for the next round, so beautifully done in the end, though, for Core. But this is the second time that we've seen Ziff trying to push out towards Showers, although not identified by TWT in that round. It's maybe something that they might try to focus on later on, especially now that they potentially have, no, they don't have money to work with, but they have definitely the composition to really try to deny the aggressive pushes out of Showers early from placing sucks and concusses out towards that area. But for now, it's just them focusing on working a split towards the B site, one watching the flank passively being Mame. No judge.
I like the util out of Core, though, to win that last round, winning off of flashes, well-timed swings out of the Viper's wall. And TWT, I mean, that could have ended even earlier if they really got caught by that Gecko flash. Speaking of that, Neptune has the lineup towards B, and Yasha Smoke is stopping them, but up for long. The satchel is in. Will established the hunt, or the Prowler, sorry, is doing work, and TWT just claim every single kill. Reinforcements through the top site. It's only Nerve and Zeldris with Guardians against Rifles, so this is going to be a tough task. Spike has been planted. Zeldris could get a lucky headshot. This Guardian can do quite a bit of damage, and Nerve has made his way through elbow. Has to check the right corner, and he can't even win that against Pancakes, who was already low health. That was a must-win. But Core left in a 1 versus 5, and Zeldris, can't even cross back over now. But hey, it's forcing the hand out of TWT. One headshot, looking for 2, and can't get it.
I'm surprised that they still wanted to chase him down, and although he has a showstopper already, but they have money to buy in the next round no matter what. So Core at this point, they wanted to just find exits against TWT, and TWT kind of gave it to them. And at that point, if you keep your player alive or your opponent alive and they don't die to Spike, that's only 1,000 credits versus the full bonus. Therefore, now going with a buy and operate on top of that with because of that death that he got and a showstopper. This is something that TWT has to at least anticipate on the showstopper, but I don't know if they're going to be ready on the op yet.
The op from Zeldris is going to look down B long. TWT going to check out Hookah. I think they did a good job of just ignoring the Astra smoke and satcheling in and executing well for TWT. Not having that same sense of urgency, and Zeldris is just cheating up like that with the op.
It's a beautiful shot still, yeah. Beautiful shot by Neptune, but somehow still lost Will in the process, so that kind of sucks.
Okay. I was just waiting. I was like, you know, the longer you wait, the more likely you are to choke that when they turn around. It's happened way too many times to us in today's show. But now you got the Nightfall closing down the entry towards Hookah, and Ken Pecky's in trouble. He's the one who ulted, and he's the one getting pushed out. 47 HP, and TWT, The spike is planted.
Yeah, but they got 2 stars on the ground, so they could delay so much here with Pancakes' utility and with the snake bite. So you're just keeping them pinned inside hookah and running the clock down. So despite the Nightfall giving your position away, you still delayed so much now for TWT. It all comes down to this big flank from T-Dog up towards Long Beach.
And you're ready to cut vision on the Lear if there were to be one that comes out, but Zip doesn't even have one, so they're just hoping to have the right shots. TWT 1v1, no time to defuse. And Ziff at least gets the kill just to pad the stats, and another offensive win for TWT.
Yeah, T-Dog had that really nice flank in the end to get that pick, so it really allowed the initiation for Core to flood out of the site. Beautiful snake bite being thrown on the ground, and whoever that was in that site just ate that snake bite to get that kill and give a chance here for TWT to win off time. And I think that was Mummy that was in there, so that was very, very well done. A nice little Zippo clutch that they had here for TWT to take the lead now by 2, and you're seeing a sense of urgency coming out from Core right now. They have to go for a timeout. They have a lower buy, but they do have 2 very strong ults. So is it a timeout to go for some sort of a trap play? Is it going to be red? Is it a showstopper now towards the short A? Or is it going to be a retake play by using both of these ults? I mean, at this point, this is some very, very strong ults behind some very good shooting that they've proved with Sheriff with a lower buy for Core.
And Snarly part of that discussion of how they can combo off of the Gecko and how they can maybe check corners better.
Yeah.
Because I think stuff like that, like you said, happens all the time. TWT, though, ooh, really taking them the distance. But everyone seems pretty calm and pretty locked in.
Even T-Dog saying, yep. So understands what call that Ocean's currently doing so that he could actually do the actual in-game calls in the mid-round pivots going into round number 7. And there's only one player here. It's Zeldris. And he's just hiding the corner with a judge. And this is difficult now when you're playing against a Prowler on the other side.
You're playing this far forward, you're prone to getting hit by util, and you hear them going through the Viper smoke. It's a 2-for-1 special, and make it 3 with the showstopper. Oh, we love to see Zeldris back in action like that. And TWT have just had their whole offense killed, especially the 2-round momentum that they had into this, but maybe it's not over. Zeldris, the thorn in their side, has been removed. And TWT fighting back with now 2 picks in a row, evening up the numbers slowly but surely.
Oh, what a read.
TWT still have Spike too.
Yeah, Pancakes anticipates a flank coming through, and if they're actually going to try to do an ult preemptively without a spike plant, this is an easy TP for TWT.
Well, the timing of Snarly's push here is pivotal. TWT's hand is being forced. They still have 40 seconds. You gotta get the plan down, and you don't want to give time for rotations to set in either for them to make the move on you, because it's the defense that has the number advantage. And the smoke procs the spray through. T-Dog's position is revealed. It's 4 for Kenpecky. Ace at the ready. 1v1 against Snarly. The hunt reveals where Snarly is, and it's an ace for Kenpecky.
No way the Kenpecky was able to get that for the team. No way that he's able to get an ace and clutch it for TWT when Zeldris got 3 freebies from an unchecked corner in the A cubby right there. And somehow you let that slip. There was a preemptive orbital strike that went down, just trying to catch the Astar, trying to catch Pancakes. It was pinned as he was pinned towards the A cubby. And that preemptive orbital strike potentially was a silver lining for TWT because now they had so much time to work with and catch Core off mistakes in position.
Oh my god, an early Lear, and TWT are just quicker with the flicks. Neptune with 2, the ghost sign, and the turn onto the teleporter. TWT are locked in. Thrasher to make their way through. Okay, kind of stuck on that window. Okay, you need to be this tall to get through hookah, apparently. TWT ready for the plant, and it's all up to Zeldris. We may meet up with Pancakes in a dark alley. That could be at least one gun he could take away, because who checks this corner? Nobody.
Got one.
The audio is going to be there at least, though. Now it's time to play. scout nines, pretty much.
You want more?
Hide and
Here's
seek.
more.
Oh, you don't like that sound. Uh-oh.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
it missed.
Thankfully it missed.
What? You know where they are. So, Zeldris, who has the nicer lineup, you hear the stomp. You get baited. Oh, 8 shells. Stop the fall. Oh, the turn. Wait. 1v2 is doable, but the flank. Can Pecky have his position revealed? Oh, I thought Zeldris had the lineup so close. But another round win for TWT.
The game sense is so good there for Zeldris to be able to turn around knowing that Kempeki was coming for that flank, but unfortunately couldn't line up the crosshair placement for that kill. That could have been huge because you're getting closer and closer once again to your second showstopper to this map. And that would have been a huge swing round for you to be able to bring that up a little bit earlier than anticipated now in this half. Because really, TWT are doing such a good job since this round number 5 to control the pace of the attack side of Bind. They're controlling the split on B. Beautiful smoke, though, is not going to allow for you to get too much information off the Dizzy being thrown. You're going to have to potentially use a little bit more here to try to clear through the smoke if you want to engage more.
At least you know it's just a little bit of a sheriff on the other side. But TWT still don't want to test those waters. At least not yet. Now Prowler through Hookah. Now they can get established there. Where the range battle is going to favor TWT. I guess I should stop underestimating what a sheriff can do,
That's
especially in the hands of Core.
That's what I'm saying. It's still Ziff with the sheriff right now and full util despite the slower buy. That showstopper might foil the plans.
Oh! I thought that got the person. Okay, I think the kill got stolen by Pancakes there, but TWT only have one pesky gecko to work with, and it's quick work.
2 kills, armor damage, not too bad. You'll take it with a grain of salt. But now finally you have a gun round with full armor this time around. No more half shield shenanigans, no more judges. Now you have to really turn it into your favor. And for Core, I think this is the first time that we're actually seeing Zeldris move out here towards showers. So they really want to try to pivot towards an orb control. It's gonna get flushed out by utility by Kempeki, but technically it should still be a free orb picked up now for Zeldris.
Okay, don't get in my way. Mad respect. Defensive Viper cutting out A main there. So TWT, this is not gonna be an easy push through A. Even if you believe in somehow satcheling over that, it'd be too much of a risk. TWT still gonna patrol, I guess, the Viper's pit. Maybe even enter it. Mame. It's a big risk to try and go up against T-Dog in his own turf. Oh, they're about to face off too. Mame at least goes in and out of the Viper's pit to regenerate the health in the Nightfall. To try and draw out this Viper. T-Dog leaves it for a second, but Zeldris starts off on a good foot as Core coalesce defensively on A, and he got the showstopper in a small space like this. Uh-oh. Okay, that was intentional.
Hit the box. And there's nobody. So it was a nice hold here for TWT just to cut noise and re-execute towards the A site. T-Dog falls.
30 seconds left.
Oh, Zeldris is so pissed. He's like, man, I just came all the way to B, and I gotta run all the way back. Lil Bro's planting. TWT ain't looking so good with only Will and Neptune left. But you hear that Reyna. And Empress just got activated at Heaven. Ziff jumping down with the whole squad. The timing of Will, he gets pinched out. And Neptune is all on his lonesome. Deals with the one. Can he prevent the defuse? It's not being stuck, but man, the pressure is on. And Neptune can't deliver. But Core stop a 5-round momentum there.
Yeah, with a very clean shot by Snarly to start things off because Will had a perfect timing to get that first duel against Pipes. He didn't even wrap around triple. That said, though, the Nightfall that was used by Kempeki was perfect to counter the pit that was going towards the A side, and you needed Zeldris to win that fight against Kempeki's re-lurk back towards showers, which allowed the showstopper to be ready right there off that kill. It was used again a little bit too early, trying to find a surprise kill, and really allowed for this post plant to happen for TWT in the end, where unfortunately Core falters because they're out of position and less util to play the retake together.
Okay, no more. Well, Maybe Zeldris can put a prayer down. That helped them come back from a deficit similar to
I mean, they still
this,
got the
but-
round, but it was definitely very difficult for. No, stop it, T-Dog, stop it, T-Dog.
Get your bag, King. Get your bag.
But yeah, they still won the round for Core no matter what. But it had to come down to like some very clean shots to allow for them to win that. I think even Ziff got a lucky spray through a smoke to get that kill into showers to really dwindle down the numbers of TWT on that pulse plant. Could have been very difficult there at that point. And sometimes you're going to have to take that look.
All right, timeout is over. 2 more rounds left in the half. And Cosmic Divide, Viper's Pit. It was a cool way that TWT were trying to deal with the pit on the other side when it was trapping them in A main. So, see where the execute comes from. As the pit in A would take up a lot of good space, satcheling into showers. The Boombot will reveal it. The Prowler comes through. Just tap on the orb, just in case someone were ready to swing and catch hands, but now it's a safe orb grab, giving Neptune Thrasher.
Yeah, which is nice.
I got the
The
spike.
satchels that they did is not as quick because the Prowler is much slower than a Sky Flash. So I like that Will's able to time that correctly for them to just get some simple orb control. And the Thrash is going to be huge for them to pivot back towards this B site. They found some great ground and flooded a lot of utility behind that Thrash before. There's only 2 players of Core in that defense there. Thankfully, Snarly's pretty much in an off angle outside Octagon. And maybe he could backstab some players running down towards the window. But it's a tough ask. A very tough ask.
All right, B site with a chatted up
Oh yeah!
Reyna ready to leer anybody who jumps through. And there's no satchel for Will, so Lear's gonna come out preemptively when you hear the Thrasher come out, and Ziv collects 1 and
30
repositions
seconds
to the elbow. And TWT, man, that's tough. At least they got a responding kill thanks to the Thrasher restraining someone, and the plant
Spike
goes
planted.
down for TWT.
Pit
And
for
Core
spawn.
coming around the back.
And the pit's for spawn, but it's not deep enough. There's still a lot of room for Core to work with.
Enemy remaining.
Oh, yeah,
mind.
you're right. Pancakes with 3.
Never mind.
TWT. No? Okay. It
Well, it's
looks
like Core has
promising.
so much
Last
room here for the
round in the
retake. There's so
half.
much space around the pit, and then boom. They get flanked, and then it just get killed by players outside of the pit. And then GG.
I was thinking there was room for TWT, and they took more of that.
Oh, yeah.
Sharing is not caring for them.
Yep.
Wow. So you thought Core was going to start digging themselves out of this hole. You know, the diff is Zeldris didn't pray for that one. The timeout. TWT are back in the driver's seat. 1 round left in the half. And maybe some ults coming out of Core. Try and salvage this one. 1 away from Thrasher. 1 away from, or actually just got the orbital strike.
And that's something that they needed. Trying to push out for some orb control at the same time too, just to prevent TWT from getting anything on their side in this last round of the half. And I find it this so interesting that it's TWT that runs their
Smoke's
own
down.
smoke into hookah, so they could take control of hookah first and just keep Core guessing. On your side, usually if you're playing defense, you're like, oh well, thank you for the free smoke. I just have the clock dwindling down in my favor. But they're using this smoke usually to, 1, condition, but 2, also use utility outside for the pop. And it forces these pushes. So you walk back in and you catch them off guard, and now you have a weakened B site.
Well, it was almost bad timing from Snarly, jumping up on that edge. He still found good aim to take somebody with them. TWT. Oh, a B-long exchange here. As Ziff doesn't have a leer to contest this well. But if he gets a kill, you know, Ziff can...
30 seconds left.
It's really feast or famine when it comes to playing Reyna. Now things have really quieted down for TWT, maybe forcing Core to get antsy and peek at hookah again like Snarly did. Now it's activated. TWT sending their little man forward. Now 13 seconds left. It's go. It's the go sign,
10
and Mame
seconds
with an
left.
important 2-piece.
Yeah.
Really helped TWT.
He was supposed to play Sacrifice Die so that the trade can happen.
enemy
Gets
remaining.
a second entry, which allows Neptune to get that kill, leaving Zeldris alone. Stinger in hand. GG.
It is GG. Zeldris believes it too, but 9-3 in the half. That is a statement
sides.
to make for TWT.
Yeah. 9-3, running away with the attack side. Beautiful conditioning and work towards this B site. Really, as we mentioned, how this composition that you have for the defensive side of Core is so good for denying plants on this A side. TWT once again used most of those rounds to pivot towards a B site hit, and it worked out with the amount of util and just sheer trading fundamentals to get these rounds on that B side. That said, though, like I said, this is still a great composition for Core to flood the same way that TWT did on their attack half.
Can Core stop the momentum from TWT? Core have been solid on pistol rounds before. And Core throwing some util down. They wanted Showers control, and around the corner is Pancakes. Core ready to make a splash. They have Satchel ready to enter in. Start with the Gecko flash. Look around to their left. The Satchel kind of messed up there, but hey, the plant is going down. So TWT, they're a man down, but Pancake's about to get overwhelmed. There's a huge swing coming, and Nerve
Oh my.
decided to retreat. Interesting.
Yeah, because they heard the triple TP or the double TP right after. So you're trying to play the power of numbers, smoke it out. Comes out to Kempeki on Heaven. Gets the first kill.
Oh, TWT coming back, making a 2v2. Zeph revealed their position, holding it down with Zeldris. Nice dodge on the Leer. But Mame jumping right into the room that they're hiding in. Is going to use the smoke to their advantage. Tap the spike, force the reaction, but swings at the wrong time, and Ziff picks up the kill.
What a nice try to recall the smoke so that you just go with the 50-50. Hopefully your shots hit for TWT. But instead we've had, 3 drive-bys. 1 coming in from Snarly into Showers, and 2 from Ziff in the end on the pulse plant to be able to clutch that one for Core. Because at that point, you see it right here, there was definitely looking like a TWT retake because of that triple flank. And despite Pancakes not dying when he was getting flushed in by Showers, when he ran away, he did so much damage with the Ghost wallbangs too, that should have been a TWT round. But Ziff was able to dance around, win that round for Core, and keep the dream and the momentum alive here, at least to start for Core on the attack side.
Able to start setting up B long. You got Zeldris on the raise watching any mid flank. And TWT are 4 stacked at A. Gotta be ready to take that TP, but Core don't have anybody established at Hookah to deal with anyone coming through the A teleporter, so Core very quiet. I want to tap the orb. The Leer has been thrown out to deal with Elbow and the flash from the Gecko. Plant ensues, and there's a nice smoke at the back site. So the sequence goes off without a hitch for Core. Reinforcements come in for TWT at the top of site, and once this smoke clears, this could be a bloodbath for T-Dog and Nerf by his side. And shots are already being exchanged before the smoke even comes down. And time is not on TWT's side as Zeldris smells a flank coming through mid and picks up one, expecting another. And TWT haven't even pushed through the top of site. Time is a wasting.
Yeah, that's fine.
And this is not looking good.
No, I mean, they have classics that they're stacking up with, but I like the fact that you're keeping those smokes towards the spawn to maybe even keep them outside of the blast radius. But looking at the rest of Core, they don't want to push towards that spawn, where especially the stack that you had Gamble for TWT allows for them to have a stronger hold with right-click classics close range while the rest exits. So you pull back on the other end, you clear out towards your spawn, and then you allow for the rest to just die to spike, which is well done in the end for Core to work at least the gamble stack against the gamble stack that TWT tried to do in that eco round that they had. So both teams having a very, very strong buy once again in the bonus round for Core.
A little bit of deja vu from last map because Core started coming back on their offense. Maybe they're just an offense type of team. I don't know. But I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. I think you said this sometime today.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I landed that one, because usually I just say something like, don't count your chickens or don't count your eggs before they hatch in the basket or something like that. So I'm finally glad I got a good metaphor this time around.
And Core, they like to kind of set up at B long, just see if anyone's going to get antsy out of TWT. They fight for the orb. Now Ziff might be lurking to see if anyone's gonna go for the showers orb. Oh, just spotted the ankle from Will. Just gonna keep hold of this, but now with the Astra smoke, it's gonna help TWT grab this orb.
Octagon. That's perfect here for a double swing in the end. Neptune trying to help out, but
Shot my wingman.
doesn't look like he's gonna be able to do much.
It's a nice little distraction, at least. And now it's a quick switch up, teleporting to showers, stomping their way through. Two to stop them is Kanpeki and Will. But man, Neptune is sprinting back and managed to grab one in time.
One enemy
and the
remaining.
spike is down, and T-Dog is the only one left. That was 3 for Neptune.
Beautiful hold by Neptune towards that triple, but that was off the assist of a great haunt being thrown by Kanpeki on the initial pivot from core through the TP. You've mentioned it. There was so much action going around through the B control to the TP and using on top of that the Thrash to get information and trying to clear triple. They couldn't get a ping. They couldn't get players detained. And you answer back with that haunt and just pure gunfire that works out in the favor of a hold. So it was looking pretty good to start things off for core to get that information. But the anchors continue to be so strong now for TWT. 10-5. At least the gun round continues for core. You have a judge working for Pancakes in U-Haul.
Zeldris and friends of core try and take control of Hookah, but this Mame had the hands up like they were about to pin, and then I looked over. They don't actually have it, but they're ready to crossfire with Neptunes. Too early in the half, but I like that there's more eagerness for TWT to not let Hookah go for free and then throw the poison orb down, and core have to rethink the approach. Not deciding to go for Hookah, retreating out of B long, not wanting to teleport and really ping their presence.
That's why.
Thinking about A.
Core doesn't want to give their position away in terms of TPing and giving up the jig that, you know, they were trying to find some information and scaling inside Hookah. Yet the Prowler at the 1 minute mark coming out on the defense spotted one towards Showers. So they know right now for TWT that Core's defaulting around the map and they're trying to play contact. Comes down to duels, but T-Dog wins it.
Wow, with the C's too. Oh, that's a creepy sound in my ear. But
30 seconds left.
for Core, managing to get the plant down. Will, under duress, use the boom bot at the one door. Shifts, smoke in his way. But T-Dog knows some people teleporting behind. Has to watch, has to have eyes in front and at the back of his head. But with nerve support, maybe this can still be executed out of Core as T-Dog deals with that flanker, and they just have to worry about TWT on the site itself. And that's a good win for Core.
A great win for Core when you only lose one player in the process, and especially looking at Nerf, the impact frags that he's currently getting on the attack side, and utility to also make sure that Core is able to escape blast radiuses by keeping their economy up and keeping their weapons up. That kill that he had towards Short and that duel that he won right here against Neptune guarantees for a Molly to be ready for a pulse plant, which pretty much guarantees the round because there was no other opposition coming through here from TWT on that push. Even if there was a TP, it was being held by Showers. The pulse plant positioning for Core in terms of how they're trying to position themselves, it's not necessarily for trades, it's just 1 versus 1 and using cover to just try to delay the clock on the pulse plant. That works out so far, at least in their game plan, which is why together we were terrific. They're calling this timeout, trying to see if they have to play a buddy system to try to force these flanks to come in their favor, because if not, Core, again on their attack, has great utility for flooding on sites and also for retake lineups.
Last timeout for TWT. And then it's the end-all be-all. This is the decider of the series. TWT 3 rounds away from having a huge statement in Challengers against a pretty well-respected team of Core who can still come together, turn it around, especially when Zeldris has had these heroic performances before and is 2 away from the showstopper. What is the plan? We got the lineups, and we're leading towards B-Long again.
Yep. Just some simple conditioning from T-Dog. If you're unfamiliar here of the map of Bind, you're trying to put that wall up in the orb towards U-Haul just to try to keep players guessing on the A side, keeping them anchored there. on the other end here for TWT. They got punished trying to just swing out and try to get lucky with some shares or trying to get orb control. So B-side already open. Free plant coming through for Snarly. And they're really focusing on that here. They're not even giving it from Zeldris so that he get a showstopper the next round. So they wanted to, I guess they were afraid of a fast rotate from TWT. This gives a silver lining and some hope here for the defensive side when they're actually going to have weapons to work with. They don't have to worry about a showstopper to open up a site. So they can maybe try to pivot towards taking orb control and denying orb control of core in the next round.
Or they just believe that Zeldris is that goated and can get that kill for the showstopper.
which, you know what? I'm okay with that, because look at him. He's walking towards the spawn. So or he gets a kill, or he dies, and if he dies, he still has showstopper here. So they don't care to give this gun away.
Oh, wait, the timing! Okay, he still gets one. He gets a showstopper after all. And Core come out on top with 2 rounds in a row, especially after the TWT timeout. And with how good that round went, with Zeldris just threw his body at the other team, like, that's a really good take by Core.
It's a smart play by Core for sure, because look at the economy. Despite Zeldris rebuying, a lot of them could still buy, even with an operator if they want to on the attack on the next round. They're pretty comfortable for a buy for the next 2 rounds, while still having a showstopper against a TWT that is fighting for scraps in terms of economy. Small shields for 3 players. Losing this round puts them back into another eco where Core's closing that gap on their attack.
Okay. TWT are, I think, more mindful of swinging outside of B long when they got pieced up last time. You know, it was a different vibe, but still. Core getting their smokes ready. Trap these B defenders. And he got the showstopper. Neptune throws up the flash just to buy himself some time and doesn't even disengage. Pops in the box and pops 2 foreheads. Neptune holding it down and has Thrash ready. Throws out Dizzy just to get some bait out, I guess. And Core, they're taking the spike anywhere but here.
That is too clean. A single Dizzy with a snake bite from a simple Dizzy from Neptune and a snake bite from Mummy under the window denies the showstopper utility from Zeldris, and on top of that, blinds more players trying to support him and to get 2 kills out of it. That's huge. It was beautifully read by TWT to deny the showstopper initiation and engagement that Core was trying to do.
30 seconds left.
I was like, oh, they're gonna take the spike anywhere but here, but they were kind of still hanging around just to see if, okay, B looks too quiet, the defenders are gonna start rotating through mid, you catch them off cross like that, but Ziff and Nerve have not given up, but time is running out. 2 versus 5, and Neptune is gonna have the protection of the smoke, but the timing was weird. Either way, TWT take the round.
The defense was just cycling smokes at that point. You saw that when the Nebula was gone, the Astra smoke was gone, the Viper wall came up, so you really didn't give a chance here for Core to catch some players out of position towards that B site. And when you're trying to move, look at that. That is so nice. There was I think it was a concuss or a suck at the same time too. 0 opportunities to get value out of that showstopper. And then using more stars with the late hit that you're trying to redo for Core. You have a second stun to come out at that point. That's very well done in terms of util for Pancakes and TWT. Now still a gun round available for Core, but no ults to work with this time around. The ults are actually in favor of TWT now.
Neptune is playing backside, having the Thrash. You're wondering how he's going to want to use it for the retake, for some early info. The time is swing with Mame, but you want to ideally preserve Mame's life when they're just that close to the Viper's pit. Either way, Core with a slow approach. Once the smoke drops, could be some action at B long. And now you're just spraying through the smoke. No one's really taking damage. But oh, Mame and Neptune are ready. And they got the Gecko Flash. But no one got pinged. And TWT, knowing the push is coming, are going to give them some space to walk into. And TWT know they can quickly rotate from A to B using that teleporter. And that's where someone like Zeldris will be ready to catch that. Thrash enters the site, clears around the box, doesn't have eyes on elbow. Dizzy gonna go do his job. And Snarly and friends take over the site. TWT still have all 5 alive, and Pancakes dead. T-Dog's lurk still strong. Will teleport to help assist the hookah control. And TWT are coming through the top side through elbow, and they're looking injured.
She's still gunning for you.
Zip got locked up for a second, emerges to at least put some damage down. Zeltrus with 2, keeping Core alive. And so they do.
Oh my god. The game plan for Core to just pick up 1 orb and get the most value out of a Thrash coming out from Snarly. Their first one to clear sight and seeing a double molly being played. So they know that Neptune is playing somewhere close towards the spawn, and they're going to play the retake with their own Thrash. So right now, Core plays outside of the site. Meanwhile, Snarly was able to pick up his Thrash at the same time to use it for a second time, while everybody was just trying to protect him towards Long B and did not allow TWT to get a retake in the site. That was very nice. And now that you have finally the orbital strike for the first time on the attack, you definitely do see the lean from Core towards this B site. But at the same time, they're not really trying to deny it here for TWT. They want to give it up here to allow Core to just plant, because they have really no numbers to hold the defensive side on B.
B executes have been fantastic out of Core. Like, it's 4 rounds in a row. They're all gassed up.
There's a double push.
TWT figured out how they're going to protect B any better around this corner. Zeldris trying to go into hookah, and this T-Dog lurk worked out last time, not this time. It's now Core. Have to figure things out, and that's a little too lucky out of Snarly. Viper wall down, and Zeldris checks the corner, still gets the kill when I thought he looked away. Orbital strike clears the site. Plant going down for Core, and it's up to 3, and they're going through hookah. Big engagement for Zeldris. He loses it. I thought he had the lineup. And the nightfall from Kenpecky to try to hide the approach of TWT. And they're coming through hookah though, and Core know it. There's so much stopping TWT from coming out of that window. And Snarly is ready at the cross, and Core take another round.
So that's what I'm talking about when when you have an orbital strike and so much util to take the site and for post plant. After the orbital strike and one small piece of molly that was being thrown towards the spawn, they're still able to have so much more for the post plant. That wingman actually got so much value for the last 2 players jumping outside a window, while they had more delays from a mosh pit, and also, I think it was a molly from Nerve. That is a beautiful round executed by Core. They tried to do a double push by TWT, but as soon as T-Dog died, that was the call for them to just split the site, and it worked out in their favor. And TWT, now they're like, okay, well, they're working towards Long B way too many times. Let's run a Dizzy with a Bucky and a couple of shares to try to run it down and hopefully get 1 or 2 weapons to upgrade out of this.
Yeah, not an ideal round for TWT, but maybe the Bucky can beat the allegations. Okay, I don't love me some Bucky, but I love me some Will, especially stepping into this roster last minute, getting TWT this close to a win, holding down hookah or holding down B Long is an important job for Will. The timing of the swing is everything. Hey, now exposed. Will comes out, put the initial shot down, and the paint shells could be big. Oh, they're looking so damaged. Happy Long and all the army storms the beach just there for TWT and just holds down Core. We don't even have the spike in hand. They got nothing left. It's just Zeldris.
Should I use a stick next time?
They got a thrifty Zenny Flawless out of that. Are you kidding me? With the knowing that they are on an eco right now for TWT, and they played so far back. I mean, you were looking at that radar. T-Dog was still holding back towards T-spawn because they were afraid of the aggressive pushes coming out from TWT. Yet you still wanted to walk up contact. And getting the first contact from a Prowler with 45 seconds left. Look at that seize. Look at the amount of util. It's a whole lane of util that you can't escape. Lava is hot pretty much there for Core, and they all died from it. What a play by TWT. And Core, mishap on not clearing sites, not clearing with util.
Oh, not a good start to Core's offense. But they're only down by 1 in terms of the 3 of TWT.
Oh my god.
Oh, just had a crumb of HP left. T-Dog in a 1 versus 3 to clutch this up for Core to keep them alive. This is the deciding round. TWT up by 12. Mame, Kenpeki, Neptune.
Towards an orb emitting.
We're 2-1 split. Stacked at A, eyes on the spike. And then Mame gets to be on exploration duty.
Toxin screen down.
T-Dog cutting all noise, has the pit. If they can even get the spike, that could be big. The pit and make that winnable.
No.
I mean, against Thrash on top of that, it's not.
Oh, you're such a hater.
Yeah, I'm a hater.
I'm a believer. Oh, Thrash, here he comes. Uh-oh. Yeah, you're right. 13-9 for TWT. The comeback, the upset, and the victory in map 3.
Again, I apologize, Shinobi and crew there of Together We're Terrific. That was a beautiful display of how you were playing that first map on Breeze. A very good Lotus second map, and even a great attack side on this third map right here. Overall, man, I gotta say, for them to switch the pace off an eco to rush out for a pinch on Showers with a TP play to get 3 instant kills, they definitely came out with a plan for TWT. And I'm looking forward to see what else they have cooked up for the split.
Oh, Sierra, can you believe it? Will with the W comes in and helps them out. What a match!
Enemy remaining.
Through that V log, and just the kill feeds lighting up, just like, all right, here's a utility kill. Oh yeah, here's a close range. It is amazing. Oh, I just want to savor that for all of it. But no, it's ideas like that that do make me excited about this Together We're Terrific squad. It's that coordination there, because we have to just hit on the fact again that yes, there is some very skill capable players on this team. It's a team that has been kind of, for lack of better words, shambles in terms of when you're looking at the roster and everything they overcame to even have a team fielded for this. And honestly, I think even just Vans, 18 first kills, but still coming out with the 13-round wins. Like, there's so many times they're playing behind and they still won it out.
Yeah, it really came down to those trap plays and working together right now. Well, I mean, it's also on the amount of util they're able to get to clear and just play a pulse plant that works out in their favor. So it comes down to these trade positions where maybe they lose the first trade, but always get that pulse plant utility and the positions that they have on these pulse plants for TWT that just allowed for them to get such a strong first half. I think it was a 9-3 half, right? When you're looking back at the history of this third map. Yeah. So very well done for TWT. For the end, though, I have to say for QOR that, you know, it still looked pretty decent. They still put up a great fight. They lost their map pick on Breeze, but it looked really decent on Lotus, and they were able to make a sort of a comeback on this third map. For this is still a work in progress. You trust the process if you're the coaching staff here of what Ocean and Slow School is currently saying for this team, and I'm hoping to see them bounce back going into the split in the remaining weeks here of Split 1.
And like how we talked about, it's not how you lose, but what you learn from it and how you move forward. And QOR were already experimenting with a different comp, right? With Reyna and the double duelist. And it's going to be exciting to watch QOR grow from here and how our expectations are going to change with these newer teams who have these last minute signings who are still pulling off wins and going the distance, even winning maps on not their map picks. It was kind of a wild day, but I'm really impressed with TWT.
It's not how you lose, it's what you learn. Bring a tear to my eye, but this is week 1. It is so true, and I really do think that people need to remember that. It has been a long day, though, and of course, we want to make sure that we can get our interview for you, so we're going to be taking a quick break, enjoy our Pro Series highlights. We'll be right back.
One enemy remaining. One enemy One enemy remain.
That's it.
One enemy remaining.
One down.
One enemy remaining. Last player
Enemy kill.
One enemy. enemy. One enemy. Nice. Ending. One enemy remaining.
Ultimate is ready.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Got one. One enemy remaining. Clutch. One enemy. Clutch. One enemy remaining. Flawless. Hey. 30 seconds. One enemy. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Thrifty. Defenders.
Well, it took 3 games to get it done, going all the way to bind to close it out. But TWT coming out on top amongst all of the chaos. And I have IGL Pancakes on the line to talk a little bit more about everything going on. First, have to say congratulations on the series. Did have to take it to 3 maps. How are you feeling now after that win? Because it looked a little shaky at times.
Yeah, it feels good to just like squeak by with a win, and it's impossible to win your map pick in this game, so we knew after we won their map pick we were gonna lose and then go map 3, so we were ready.
It honestly kind of does feel a little impossible sometimes, but I'm definitely excited to see the team coming out with a win, because it has been absolute chaos when we're looking at the history for the team. Like the last 20 days, a Proto leaves, all right, bring in Kenpecky. All right, Icy leaves, okay, now you have Will. How has that been just stress-wise behind the scenes to try and have a team to even play?
Yeah, I mean, we had 4 days of prac with Will and 2 weeks with Kenpecky, so like we're really bad at all the simple stuff right now, just like scaling and just like doing all the basic things we're not very good at. We're trying to flush them out, so we're just like happy to just get this win, and so we have more time to practice with a 1-0 lead.
And how did those discussions come about to have them come into the team? Because of the fact that there hasn't been that much time, the team looked pretty good. Like we got to see some coordinated plays. I'm definitely excited about the potential of the team. So why specifically these 2 players to slot in?
I played with Kenpecky like a long time ago for like a whole year on a cruise, so I always knew he was good, and he has a big voice in our team, so it's really nice to have just another person that comms a lot. And then Will played with Kenpecky played with Will, and he said he was really good, and he was on 100 Thieves, obviously went to champs and stuff, so he's a good fit. We just need to get things flushed out.
I'd love to know then, with the roster being shuffled around so much, obviously everybody comes into Challengers with the highest hopes for their roster. How do you feel the team stacks up now that you've had the roster changes? It might be a little iffy for a bit, but do you think that this is a team that has like that high potential to go that distance once you get a little bit more settled in?
Yeah, I think we can beat anyone once we get more practice, and once I can shoot back. I kind of got carried today. I'm thankful for my teammates for that, but it was kind of weird playing a match since we haven't played one in so long. I feel like the scrims and matches are just so much different. Like it's just not the same at all of how people are playing, so.
Yeah, and especially too having to account for the changes of the team, that'd be difficult. Did you at least get to, with your other members of the team, practice and get to scrim a bit before all the changes, or is the team still relatively rusty coming into this?
I mean, me, my man Neptune, like have some chem, but we're still pretty rusty just overall on each map. Like some of our defaults, we still just mess up on like doing basic stuff. So we're getting there.
It's week 1. It's week 1. Just get the rest off. You're gonna learn as you go, but it was definitely exciting to see that win today. It's been a long day, so I'll let you go and rest and be able to chat with the team. But Pancakes, thanks for chatting, all right?
Yep, thank you.
Yeah. As for us, well, back over to the desk. It has been a long day for us as well, but I'm going to force Lemon Kiwi and Vansilli to talk with me just a little bit more. And they'll be here eventually. They tried to disappear on me. I see you guys. And Silly, Van Snoozy over there.
Oh, sorry. This is past my bedtime here. I'm getting old.
Hey, you said it, not us, all right? That's all I'm going to say here. But, hey, we got to make sure we get you a little bit more coffee for the upcoming Challengers weeks, because these teams are out here to play, Lemon. Like, honestly, we've only had 1 2-0 series. The rest, we're going to these map 3s. We are getting these long maps. Like, people aren't messing around.
Yeah, and there's some people that have come through the qualifier, that have come through with some tape to study about, that have changed the way they've played from the qualifier, to people who didn't have to come through the qualifier and got to show some of the cards up their sleeve. And we got to know a lot of players that otherwise didn't have massive names before coming into this. But this is exactly what the Challengers platform is about, is making your name and putting it all on the line.
100%. But of course, we're not done yet. We're still gonna have some more players to be able to see what they're made of headed into this Challenger seasons, because we have 1 more day of competition this week. And when we're looking at these teams, I am excited to see what they're gonna be made out of, because Vans, I feel like we've gotten to see kind of all different areas. We've gotten to see these hype teams that are auto-qualified based off of last year already. We've gotten to see some of our teams going through the qualifiers. And when we're looking at tomorrow's schedule on the next page, YFP Gaming versus Thinking Men, and Turtle Troop versus the Glazers. We got a mix of everything too.
I'm definitely looking forward to these tomorrow games, because especially when you're looking at a crew shutout that Pancakes talked about, I'm actually looking forward to watching Zachary play over at the Glazers, and the opportunity and honor to be able to cast him tomorrow as well. But Thinking Men versus YFP is going to be a very, very fun match as well, because I just want to see the redemption arc of good guy Screwface and just see him own in VCO.
What the heck are you talking about? And you just said Zachary's name. I didn't even realize he was on the roster.
Yeah.
Dude, I casted Zachary when he was a child, like in another title. And he's been the GOAT. And now he finds himself on a team called the Glazers. We're going to have a talk about branding after this. But I'm really excited to watch him.
Well, I'll let you start getting that email drafted away so you can send that off tomorrow. It's been a long day today, so we're going to wrap this up. Make sure everyone can get some rest for tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in. Thank you to my lovely casters for keeping us entertained. And, of course, big thank you to production. We'll see you back here tomorrow for Day 3 of Challengers NA. Have a good night.
One enemy remaining. Spike planted. Enemy. Player standing. One enemy remaining. 10.
Go.
One enemy. One enemy remaining.
Killed.
One enemy remaining.
Screen down.
One enemy remaining. Got one. 30 seconds left. One down A. One enemy remaining. Attackers win. Spike planted. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Good. One enemy remaining. My ultimate is ready. Spike plant. One enemy remain. One enemy remaining. Attack. One enemy remaining. Stay down. One enemy. One enemy remain.
That it?
One enemy remaining.
Hostile.
One down.
One enemy remaining. Last player enemy kill. One enemy. One enemy. One enemy. Nice ending. One enemy remaining.
My ultimate is ready.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Got one. One enemy remaining. Clutch. One enemy. Clutch. One enemy remaining. Flawless. Hey. 30 seconds. One enemy. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Thrifty. Defenders win.